Hello and welcome back to day 3 of our 12 Days of Christmas Ornaments, where each day we have a different ornament project that we're working on. And today we're going to be using digital prints to really make some very vintage looking ornaments, as well as some really magical nutcracker ornaments. Like I said a couple days ago, I am doing that nutcracker tree for my grandbabies, and it's coming out so cute and adorable. Can't wait to show the whole thing when it's done. But let's get going and let me show you where I find those digital prints. So here are some cute little nutcracker images that I picked up from my friend from Life on Summer Hill. She has so many awesome prints, and lo and behold, she had some nutcrackers to go with my theme this year. So what I did is I took off the border that she had for a banner and I made them into ovals, and then we're going to cast some frames to go around them with some resin. Some of them we're going to add the frames, and some we're going to add some pipe cleaners around the edges. The other prints that I got were from Graphics Fairy. Graphics Fairy is a website that has oh my goodness, oodles and boodles of vintage prints. And I found these frames from a thrift store years ago, and we're going to use those, just pop those into those frames and hang them on the tree. So again, like we did yesterday, or day before, sorry, we're going to do some resin. It's a 10-minute curing resin, so it'll be hard in 10 minutes so we can move this project along quickly. It's a 2-part series. You do part A and part B, making sure you have equal parts of both. There's little measurements on the little cups that come with it, and I like to pour each of the part A and part B and then pour them into a separate little Dixie cup. I find that it just works easier, and that way it's all disposable as well. You don't need a whole lot for this at all. I always make up small amounts. You can always add to, but if you have extra, then it's just going to sit there and you're going to waste it. This product is a little pricier, but it does go a very long way. You can make a lot of molds with this product. And then I just crimp the edge of that cup to be able to pour it precisely into the frame. Now we'll do a little time lapse, and you'll see it harden right before your eyes. When it turns white and has gotten cooler to the touch, then it's ready to go. And you can just then pop that frame right out of the mold. The silicone works wonderful so that you can just pop that mold right out. And you'll notice it's very pliable when you first take it out. So you want to be careful not to stretch it too much, because obviously it would break. But also the awesome thing about that is you can kind of shape it to what you want it to do. So I put it around the ovals of these images so that it made sure it covered all the way around each one of those. So the cardstock that I was able to cut it out on was kind of thin. The thicker cardstock just wouldn't go through my type of printer. So I'm backing it with some watercolor paper because it was a much heavier stock. I think it was 65 pound or something like that, versus the cardstock that went through was much thinner. So I just backed that. So I'm just going to back each one of those. So I cut each one out, and now I'm adding clear coat satin as a decoupage medium. This is from Dixie Belle Paint. Their clear coat satin is a thicker consistency and works great as a decoupage medium, and it dries very quickly and is not tacky whatsoever. So now I'm just going to go ahead and add some gold gilding wax to highlight some of the parts of the mold. There's little roses and whatnot on the ends that I just wanted to highlight a little bit and give it just a touch of that vintage feel. Now we'll grab our glue gun and pop that frame right on there. The hot glue also gives it, the paper, a little bit more structure. And then of course the frame too. And we're going to go ahead and do the same process for the other little ballerina. Now originally I was going to do a third selection of a frame. I was going to do glitter around the edge, and I did that, and it didn't look substantial enough. So I ended up pouring another mold of a frame and then doing one more of the pipe cleaner. So I had 3 pipe cleaners and 3 frames. And then we'll just go ahead and do the same process with that pipe cleaner. I think I picked these pipe cleaners up from either Walmart or, every little craft place has them, and their pipe cleaners are very inexpensive. But it gives that cute little vintage look, because it feels like it's a little piece of vintage tinsel around the edge. Then we're going to add some hot glue, and I had some velvet ribbon that I am just adding a loop on the back so that we can hang them on the tree. I just make sure that I'm folding it over so that the velvet is on the outside. And here they are. Aren't they darling? They are the sweetest prints, and then those molded frames just make it perfect. And of course the little tinsel pipe cleaners as well. They're just darling. Alright, now let's get started on those frames. So what we're going to do is, one had a cardboard backing and one has a paper backing, so I'm just going to cut that off so we can get to the print that's inside. There are also these little metal staples holding the print in place, so we're going to take a screwdriver and bend those backwards, and I actually ended up pulling them completely out. And then pull off that cardboard that was under. Just each one's going to have a little something different, so you're just going to keep going until you find the print. And what I noticed is this has a permanent mat on it that was spray painted on. So I actually want to remove the glass anyways, because it's going to make the frames much lighter. So it was hard to pop the glass out, so I actually took it outside and hit it with a hammer inside of a bag, and everything was protected. And then just tossed the glass because it was just too heavy. But once we got this oval one out, I took the picture that was in there, and I'm just tracing around the edge so that I know what size is going to fit into the frame. Now I used a permanent marker. I would use a pencil next time. That marker ended up biting me in the butt, but we just work with it, and each project, as it goes, you just do what you can to make it look pretty in the end, right? We do what we have to do. So I'm taking some of that clear coat satin and using it as a decoupage medium again. Now I don't put it over the top because I did print this on my inkjet printer, so I don't want it to run. And I'll actually take these outside and spray them with a oil-based sealer so that the print doesn't run. But now I'm just adding a little more of that clear coat satin onto some little areas to accent the print to make it a little more Christmassy. So this had a star around the baby Jesus, so I'm just adding little touches around there, and then we'll just put some glitter on there so that that star shines a little bit. And I found this antique looking glitter. It's not quite silver and it's not quite gold, but I think it's a perfect addition and gives that print just a little bit of glimmer and a little more life to it. And like I said, that black marker that I used, you could see when I put it into the frame. So now I'm taking some more of that clear coat satin with a nice fine artist brush, and I'm just creating a scallop around the edge of the print, and then we'll put glitter on it to hide that magic marker. It's that magic marker, permanent marker. This gets a little tricky because you can't really see where you're putting it because it's clear. But it's so much fun, and it, like I said, it isn't tacky and it isn't super thick, but it's the right thickness to where you just get a nice glitter around the edge. And then we'll put some hot glue on the back of the frame, and then put the back on, and you're all set to go. I added a bow and a hanger on the back with some little bit of berries, and I think they're gorgeous. And I think they're going to make a great addition to my Christmas tree this year. I think there's 6 frames all together, so I'll finish those here in a little bit. What do you think? Are you ready to try some graphic prints? Well, that was another super fun and easy project. So finding those digital prints is super easy. There's like I said, I found some on Etsy, I found some on Graphics Fairy. There's many other places out there. My friend from Life on Summer Hill has a plethora of different images that are absolutely gorgeous. You can take those images and make them into ornaments, or you can take them and frame them and put them up as artwork. Or I might even be making a little banner if I have time. We'll see. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button and come back tomorrow. We still have 9 more projects to go and so much fun to be had.